Okay. I mean, we are live now, or
Yes,
cool.
I think we'll just wait for a couple of more attendees to join, and we'll start in a couple of minutes.
Sure. Sounds good.
A warm welcome to everyone who has joined us. Thank you for joining us today for this webinar. My name is Ashna, and I am an HCM solution consultant at Ensaan Technologies and your host for this webinar today. Ensaan Technologies is a boutique HR technology company with headquarters in Dubai and offices across GCC. We provide solutions in four areas within the HR technology domain: operational HR, management, strategic HR management, talent acquisition, and learning and development. Insan represents many of the leading and innovative global HR technology vendors in the region. We sell, implement, and support the solutions in the region. Today's webinar topic is Discover How AI Cognitive Bots Can Help Transform the Employee Self-Service Space. Our speaker today is Animesh Samuel. Animesh is the founder and CEO at Light Information Systems. His team launched NLP Bots, a horizontal AI NLP platform that automates conversations and processes for the enterprise, and presented it at various awards and platforms, uh, recognized awards, etc., across the globe. Let me give you a quick introduction to Light Information Systems. Light Information Systems has been a pioneer in the business since 2012 in natural language processing AI, with more than 150 man-years of research and development. It has been recognized both locally and internationally for its efforts in the field. It has the capabilities to read unstructured data at human parity levels, handle free-flowing conversations and transactions, and flexible deployment options is what makes NLP Bots CPA platform globally unique. Now, without further ado, I will turn the time over to Animesh. Over to you, Animesh.
Thank you, Ashna. I hope you can hear me. Very good afternoon to all of you. Good morning or good evening, depending which part of the world you're attending from. So yeah, thank you first of all, Ashna and Ensaan Technologies for this opportunity to share on our work, and specifically in the area of employee engagement and employee product, how it can increase employee productivity. So as we're all aware, we're entering into a cognitive era. The era where, very simply put, I'm sure most of you understand, but just for the benefit of those who don't, an era where machines will be able to look at data and then analyze that data and then basically make a decision based on what it sees, without having been programmed to do so. So that's in a very small gist what cognition is all about. And how that is done is through multiple things. There is a data that, it gets trained on data basically, and it learns, vis-a-vis whatever it has been trained on, and then it uses that information to give, when new piece of information is fed, to give an output based on what it has learned in the past. So when we take that concept and apply it in the workplace, for employees, there are three distinct problems that we realize that could be addressed and that are being addressed very well. And so employees, when it comes to that, there are, apart from, of course, every employee has its core occupation or profession. But apart from that, every employee in any organization globally has got three items that are critical for their performance, right? One is they have to understand generic data, like about their workplace, about their products, that their services they're offering, whether the policies that every employee needs to adhere to, if there is any standard operating procedures that they have to work under. So all of these things is what we call as generic data, which is basically depending on the employee, the position, the location, that they need access to. The second part of the data is personal data, like who am I, where am I working in the HRMS, what is my band, or what are the things that I have access to, what are the kind of reimbursements I can claim, how many leaves do I have, and what are my salary slips, pay slips, or any of those things, or any other such documentation that will come under personal data. And the third is actually to be able to transact. That means you want to change an entry in the HRMS. You want to access maybe your learning management system and know how much of learning I'm still due to complete within this financial year. Or you want to actually know how much of production happened on the floor if you're part of the manufacturing team or the sales team. You want to know how the sales was last week and compare that to the sales 2 years ago, maybe. So you want to pull some data, push some data, check some data, and you want to maybe apply for leave, you want to apply for a reimbursement, or you want to book a meeting room. Any of those things would come under the transaction category, right? So these are the three problems that in terms of employee engagement that we realize that is relevant out there in the market today, and which drains a lot of time in terms of employee resources. It also drains the person. So if I'm an employee and I want to, let's say, change the nominee, in some claim or something like that in my account, or I want to, let's say, uh, find out when the next meeting room is available where I want to conduct a meeting, with outsiders. So for that, I will be calling up someone, and that person will also be deploying some time. I will also be spending a lot of time. They will say, okay, 3 o'clock it's not available, but a smaller meeting room is available, maybe. So on and so forth. You go back and forth, and then finally to be able to, schedule that meeting room booking. But the whole idea is, when you train the bot and you've given that cognition to the bot, it can do it completely automatically. So not in just in this transaction, but if you take this transaction as example, an employee can trigger the request, to book a meeting room. The bot will understand and see if the request is for just some information, maybe availability of a meeting room, or actually the person is wanting to book the meeting room. So in which case it can go and look into the whichever database. That database could be an Excel data, where all the meeting room logs are kept, and bookings are happening through that Excel sheet. Or it could be a calendar, like each meeting room could have its own, for example, Google Calendar, or it could be a meeting room management system. So in any of these conditions, the data gets pulled or pushed, and then so you can check if there is a meeting room, the size of the meeting room, the location of that room, and then basis all those people that are there, you can schedule it, and you can also send out invite to all of them, saying, or update the invite that would already be existing with the meeting room details, right, whichever is booked. So that those are different. That's just an idea. It could be the same for my leave application. It could be the same if a notification or let's say appraisals have to go out to everyone. So in that case, an event will trigger a process, and that will take action. It will ping all everybody with their reports, and make it available to them on any medium of their choice. So this is not just related to a chatbot, as you see. It could be a communicative, collaborative platform like Microsoft Teams or Skype, or it could be an email, that could engage these conversations, or it could be kiosks, or anything that any system with an API that could be used as an effective channel. And in cases where the bot is not able to complete the transaction, it can escalate it to the right division. And in this case, maybe HR is a division, but tomorrow it could escalate to any other division, or even a ticketing system if there is nobody available online immediately to close out that transaction or answer that particular query. But what is the beauty that typically most of these things that what I have explained to you, you could train, you could use a Google Dialogflow, or use some basic tool, and then train a bot to do some chat conversations. How is that different from NLP bots, right? NLP bots is basically, the difference is that all these so the bot can be trained on multiple uh, kinds of problems and transactions from various departments. It whatever it's trained on it. For example, it can be trained if someone is at your gate to intimate the person that it's come to meet, to automatically first of all check if that meeting is genuine, then to ask the person to wait for a bit because you might still be finishing up another meeting, and then to guide them to your room. So all of these things, to authenticate them, to a facial recognition, to intimate you that the person is waiting at the gate for you, so on and so forth. So if you have the same, imagine this is what is called an LP bot agent, and take your really smart employee, and the employee that knows everything about all your other employees. In this case, I'm just talking about the internal facing use cases. There could be external facing ones as well when it comes to customers or vendors. But imagine this employee that helps all your other employees with their knowledge management, reminds them of how much of training hours are left that they need to complete this year, tells them of their helps them with their IT problems or any technical issues that they're having. It helps them book leaves, or schedule appointments, and the same bot is able to help you with your claims processing. It takes surveys for you, it does visitor management, and so on and so forth, right? So when this same employee is doing all of these things, or what we call a cognitive agent is performing all these tasks, it gets really intelligent. And over a period of time, it will help you with very key decisions like employee attrition. It can help you predict a lot of stuff like that, which would be really useful. And all of these things, when an NLP bot is conversing with an employee or doing stuff for an employee, it can do it across multiple channels. So it could be on a web page, it could be on Microsoft Teams, it could be on WhatsApp, it could be on Skype, or any message, or on voice or email or anything, and it'll be able to club all of it together and create one seamless conversation with them. So the whole idea is the AI is not in the periphery. It's not like in a chatbot where the AI is in intent classification or any such thing. Here, what we're talking about is very advanced AI, which is at the core of the system, which means that it will learn across different functions that it performs, and it will learn more and more and get smarter over a period of time, right? So like I said, it can manage with very generic information. It can help you with personalized information as well, and it can also help you transact across various kinds of applications, maybe like leave, or like I said, schedule a meeting room, or claim for reimbursement, take permission to travel, regularize your attendance, manage with your sales reports. Also, it can connect you to other peers, or it can also connect you to peers based on their specialty. So you could say, connect me to a manager in R&D, and then the bot can say, okay, these are the three managers that are in R&D that are currently available. Would you like me to ping them and see if they would like to chat with you right now? So all of these things can be managed through the system, right? So what we are talking about is, what again, what sort of differentiates us is the total flexible deployment options that are there, which means that this entire solution can be hosted on any cloud or on prem as you desire. So there could be, so there can be uh, uh, complete autonomy in terms of managing your data. So it can be within your firewall, it can be within your private cloud, it can be within our cloud instance also, and only the your enterprise data will come into the system only through APIs, right? So as you would like to deploy it, all the options would be available. It's like I said earlier, it's omni-channel, which means it could be on website, it could be on mobile, it could be across any kind of any kind of channel, even a kiosk, or that is there, and any of those things will work. Uh, it can scale users, so by scaling the cloud instance, by this you can have maximum number of concurrencies, and you can also say scale use cases, which is most critical in, and most one of our differentiating aspect, because you can train the NLP bots on any kind of function, and it will be able to build cognitive intelligence into that as well, right? So I just given you a few examples of which are live, but I'm sure as we speak, a lot of our partners are trying out various different things, and a lot of clients are experiencing amazing results in all of those things. You can instantly do surveys, send out notifications, again based on, we've got a very unique concept called canvas. So based on those canvases, you can send out very customized and targeted messages, to specific audiences within your employee pool. um, it's very easy to escalate this thing. So if the bots don't have the answer, or if the bots have not been trained on any particular information, there's no problem. We will not compromise the employee experience. uh, we will easily escalate that query or that request, to the right person or to the right teams that need be. And like I said, one of the most important things here is the insights, where the bot, like I said, when your smartest employee is able to do so many things for you, engage visitors on your website, engage visitors on premises, engage every employee with every need of theirs, from learning solutions to their IT support, to HR support, and all of those things. The employees, the bots get really smart, and they're able to give amazing insights, on the different possibilities that can happen, right? And all of this, one of the most critical things, especially in employee facing kind of use cases, is authentication. So we can integrate directly with any kind of system like AD integration, SAML integration, etc. And or it could be a single sign-on if it is part of a system. If for example, most of your employees would be, if they're on Microsoft Teams, for example, it's already authenticated single sign-on access that they get. Uh, and like I said, it just doesn't end with HR use cases. It could be any kind of use cases, like like tech support, scheduling, peer-to-peer scheduling as well, or provide even sales support or skilling assistance, to your sales teams. So having said that, what we are basically talking about, a system that can be deployed on cloud, on premises, that can be made accessible to your employees through any channel of their choice, through maybe a voice, through mobile, or through any chat mediums, and then, on like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or anything, or Microsoft Teams, and or Google Hangouts for that matter, and be made, or even email, and then available on any cloud of your choice, with a lot of proprietary algorithms that are built on top of open source technologies, which means we own the technology end to end, giving you the power to host it on prem as well, and integrated with various anything with an API. And most of those integrations that we've done, those success stories are actually documented, and we've got a lot of awards and recognition. Whether it be from the likes of Microsoft or SAP or IDC. I'll cover that in a bit. But what we're talking about is a not just a tactical advantage, that we're talking about, which means we're just not talking about solving a problem of maybe optimizing your HR teams to be able to do more, or saving time for your employees and stuff like that. But the biggest advantage that we have is, like I said, when the same bot is performing various functions across the organization, there'll be a lot of data and insights that will be generated, and the scalability of it is also a huge advantage, where you're able to do this, which is what will give your organization a strategic advantage in the days to come, with increased productivity and so on and so forth. So I'd also like to quickly share a few case studies that we have done. This is for a large automotive company, where they've got this bot which is called Genie, which helps employees with, I think, about today as we speak, more than 128 different processes. Most of the ones which I mentioned are already implemented there. Whether it is managing their meeting rooms or their cafeterias, every employee need, whether it is their HR needs or their operations need, connecting them to analytics data, connecting them to marketing data, sales data, you know across the board. So every employee in this organization has got a personal assistant, and that assistant helps them with almost everything that they need. And now they can focus only on their core. The reason why they were hired by the company, right? They can focus totally on that. And they have seen, and these are slightly older results. The results are much better now. Now we get almost 60% reduction in total processing time, more than 98% enhanced employee experience, because we take a vote at the end of most of these conversations, where the employees are really thrilled to have the bot that they call Genie at their disposal. 60% reduction in work by the HRD team itself, which is substantial, because now they can focus on making sure that they're hiring the best, that they're training the best, they're retaining the best of their employees. And this 800 is pretty outdated now. There are more than 30,000 users on this particular use case that is there. And again, this journey began, with just a few policy documents that they wanted to help any new entrant into the organization with. Then they kept on adding more and more functionality. They integrated with SAP success factors. Then they kept on adding more policies. Then they wanted to collect feedback because they wanted to know how good the bots were doing. Then they integrated it with BMC, which is a ticketing system also, so that they could make it a fully self-service bot. Over a period of time, they realized that the tickets have reduced. Then they thought, maybe is it a problem that the bots are not raising all the tickets? But then they realized no, because the bots themselves were closing out several issues by doing a L0 level support itself, by itself. Then it went on to provide ITSM support as well. Then the approvals came in, where the same bot, as a manager, I will come to know, which employees are asking for approvals from me. And in one click, I can just sort those approvals out without even accessing my HCM or my ERP for that, or the financial platform as well. They kept on adding. So this was, again, like I said, after that, they kept on adding a lot more stuff like performance letters and a lot of other things, salary slips, scheduling software, and everything has been added. So yes, so like I said, but for any AI, the proof is, it's of course our clients, and we've got the large pharma companies, the large consulting companies, the large. So they're using the same bot for various kind of functions. I'll cover that later. But but more than that, the validation by the industry. So if you see, I was also speaking at the NVIDIA global technology, the global technology conference, which happened in October this year, I mean last year. And where we spoke about how the and NVIDIA, as you're aware, is the largest AI hardware firm in the world. And they recognized us as a startup to watch out for. We are also recognized by IDC, which is basically the tech watcher, and the tech research company, and they call us an IDC innovator. We've been recognized by most countries, and their software, their software monitoring wings, that are out there. We were part of. SAP, like I said, they gave us the SAP ACE award for some of our implementations. Microsoft gave us an award that empowers products using AI. So it's not just in this. So, for example, on Adrenaline, also there is a bot called Sarah. So it's a product which is also powered by a bot. So if any of you are using Adrenaline, you could definitely get in touch with Ashna, and she'll tell you how to turn that feature on for you right there itself. So across various products, across various forums, we have been recognized. And like I said, these bots have much more capability apart from, of course, only the HR division. They help within the HR also. They are helping companies like Accenture hire candidates, because the bot will sort the resumes, it will read the resumes, it will reach out to the candidates, it will help them to hire them. Or in marketing divisions, it will create insights. If you're doing a large B2B sale, it'll help you create insights, and all of that stuff. Help you to sell the right product to the right team, basically. Yeah, and it connects to, like I said, with your legals, with your learning and development teams, with visitor management and all of that for various companies across the globe. So yeah, I think I'll give it back to Ashna, and also I'll take any questions if there are any. And yeah, and like Ashna has mentioned, as you can see on the screen, we'd be happy to, along with Ensaan, we'd be happy to really give you access to the platform on which you can create it, or you can have some of our engineers from Ensaan come and help you create some solutions that you can try it out yourself, so that you can pay the license cost only after you're really comfortable with that. So all of that will be possible. Ashna, over to you. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Thanks, Animesh. Thank you so much for getting into every detail and explaining it so well. We have a question here, which is by Sandeep, and he's asking, is this chatbot or RPA or combination of both?
I think, Sanjay, that's a very, very, very good question, and I think you nailed it. It is not just it can also do chat, like I said earlier, but it is not only a chatbot. It's a cognitive processing agent, right? It's basically, you can think of it like a multifunctional cognitive agent, which means that you can train it to do various things, and whatever you train it on, it can do that. So, for example, like I said, it can recognize images and send people through gates. So it can do your visitor management on a physical premises. It can engage visitors on this, so that becomes more like a chat on your website. That becomes more like a chat Outlook. But it can do IT support or HR support on email, which means you can send us a complaint on email, and it can give it back as an email. It can create reports like the insights reports for marketing agencies and all of that, where they can get insights on it. So it is not it is neither, it's much. And RPA, again, how it differentiates is, RPA is a robotic process automation, which means that it can repeatedly do the same action whatever you're taught, and it can do it many times repeatedly. But in a cognitive process automation, it puts intelligence into it. So it tells you what are the whether it should do the same action first of all, or it should do a different action, and it does the action. So So there I can go into it in detail, but it'll take too long. But very simply put, an RPA can only do one. You train a bot to do one function, it will do that function really well, and of course, it's pretty useful. But when you look at it from a cognitive perspective, it's pretty ancient, right? So you want the bot to be thinking, and based on what it has got, it needs to take different actions, right? Sometimes it might be giving an information, because if you put all of those things into one channel, it gets really complicated, and a single functional bot will break down there. So you will need a multifunctional bot to be going into the future. Does that? I hope that answers your question, Sandeep.
Okay, thank you, Animesh. He isn't responding at this moment, but I'll keep you posted about what he says.
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you quickly, is it possible for you to take us through a live demo of a bot, etc.?
Okay.
Or,
Okay. Let me just. Yeah.
yeah,
No, it should be
sure.
fine. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. In the meantime, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to.
Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the question box in your control panel. Animesh, are you able to share your screen and show us the
Oh yeah.
live
Which screen
demo?
are you seeing? Yeah.
Actually, we can only see the presentation right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Just trying to get the password. It's been a while, so I just.
sure.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? Okay, I just share the screen.
Right.
Yeah, this is one of the bots, which is the one for you all can see the screen now.
Yes.
Okay, so this is one of the bots which is for Sarah, which is basically the adrenaline bot which I spoke to you about. So there you can do, any. There are a lot of they put a lot of buttons, so it becomes very easy to get. Um, you can also ask the questions directly, or you can get the answers directly by clicking through the buttons also. So there is no, it's not like you only have to click the buttons. System is very smart, and it's able to understand even if you directly type in the questions also. And then apart from that, you can also directly ask questions, maybe from directly from the internet. So where it will then pull out answers directly from the internet as well, and give you the answers there itself. So, or you can, there, any specific help that you have, or those kind of things. Also, you can express yourself. So, there's a gratitude journaling kind of this how you're feeling today, so you can keep track of that. Anything on your KYC, pullbacks, approvals, if there is any approvals that I said that were pending, it would show up there. So a lot of functionality is there, right within the system itself, apart from answering any questions that you have, right? Then there are, and this is the one for the automobile company which I spoke to you about. So here also directly they connect with the SAP, and it's able to give out, get any information on all of those things. And can also pull out directly information from the internet as well. And all this is built on the on a platform. I'll just show you how easy it is to build it also. So are you able to see the bot builder? Hello? Hello? Ashna, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I
So
can
here
see your
you're
screen as well.
correct. So here you're able to build, bots. So what we've got is these concepts called canvases. So where each canvas you can add number of documents, you can add workflows, to the bot. You can rename this canvas. You can add any number of documents that you would like, and not only just documents, you could add videos, audio files, any of those things, and the bot can be trained to learn from that as it is. And then similarly, you could give it a title, give it logos, and all of that. You can create workflows also, which are actually graphs, which on the system, which will help you to sort of and get an understanding of those things as well. So if you look at any of the workflows, it will be basically a greeting which you can add. You can, then anyway, this will, it's about an hour's training, but it's basically you just create workflows. You can add any kind of data on the back end, whichever you want the bot to train it on, and you can define the output, whether you want to have the output in a on a as a report, on a chatbot, on a website. You want to create a JavaScript. Any of those things can be done. But I think we have only 5 minutes left. So I invite you. Yeah, of course, we can have a training session as well for any of you that are interested in getting access to the bot and getting to learn more. I think Ashna will help us coordinate that. And we could also give you the access. And if any of you want to go live in commercial or whatever, we can also be happy to take those discussions forward.
Yeah. Thank you, Animesh, for taking us through the back end and how to make the workflows, etc. We have, I think, another question, which is from Natasha. She's asking, how many languages does this support?
Yeah, Natasha. So as of now, it supports 16 languages, but in the next release, it will support more than 95 languages. So the problem with languages again is the ability for us to, because we're a product team, we don't have actually the the resources to keep on trying new languages. But yeah, two things with any new language is going to be data, that we can feed it on. But we've got the algorithms and the logic to basically we can feed it into practically new language, and the words will go and cluster together with other words that are from different languages that mean the same thing. Because the AI does not actually understand language separately. For AI, it's just cluster of words that are used in particular context together, and in different contexts these same words might be used differently. So that's pretty much for any AI. So if you can get enough training data on any language, we should be able to up a new language in no time.
Great. Also, just one relevant thing to the region. Is Arabic one of those languages that it supports currently?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
Ashna.
great. Wonderful. All right. I don't think we have any other questions. If you have anything else to add on, Animesh, we have another 3 minutes left. We could go ahead and do that.
No, I think that's it, Ashna. I just wanted to show you that it's first of all, it's a globally recognized platform already being deployed by various types of industries for various kinds of functions, and as we speak, all of them are adding more and more functionality to it, which means that it's capable of doing much more. And the limitation on creating cognition for your enterprise is only up to you once you have this platform. So there are people that are using it for risk analysis, people that are using it to entertain visitors, people that are using it to ensure that every employee's got a personal assistant, and adding more and more onto that. So it's up to you. This is only because we are a tech company, and we focus on only trying to teach the machine how to understand and process language and build cognition. The functionality is more left better with our partners like Ensaan, that can able to guide you through this entire process and what is possible with that, and of course to your own imagination as end users of the platform.
Okay, thank you, Animesh. We don't have any other questions, so it looks like we've covered all. And Uh, Great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Stay tuned, and we will keep sending you updates regarding our upcoming webinars. And please feel free to get in touch for any further queries that you have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks all. Thank you so much. Bye.